ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरं श्रीयुतापरमानन्दं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्योदयसुतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरविषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today is a very special day. Today is the auspicious divine appearance day of His divine grace, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur ki Jai. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur Vatsal Puja Mahamahotsav ki Jai. So Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur is very, very special Acharya in our Brahmamata Gauriya Parampara. All of you know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared around 540 years ago in Mayapur, Navadvip, West Bengal, India. And he accepted initiation from Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri was the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the guru of the whole creation. He is the guru of everyone because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But to set the example, to teach by his own example, he accepted the process of accepting a spiritual master. Our spiritual life begins by accepting a spiritual master. Without spiritual master, we cannot understand the spiritual subject matters. Ishwara Puri was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. So in that way it goes back to Madhvacharya. So our institution, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, was established by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivinod Swami Srila Prabhupada. So we are also in this same line. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he predicted that in every town and village all over the world, the holy name will spread. পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র প্রচার হইবে মোর নাম. All of you know, in this age of Kali, the process of attaining spiritual perfection is chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this holy name will be spread all over the world. And that was the prediction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself propagated this holy name all over India. And to establish the foundation of propagation of Krishna consciousness, he sent 6 Goswamis to Vrindavan. 6 Goswamis are the primary disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all of you know these 6 Goswamis played the significant role to establish the foundation of this Sankirtan movement. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Srila Goswami. So these 6 Goswamis, along with other Goswamis also, did some wonderful service. Actually, they laid the foundation. So they performed 4 very significant services. First, they discovered the holy places of pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. They also established wonderful temples of Krishna. They also wrote bhakti literatures. And they also taught how to interact with devotees and how to be part of a devotee community, how to maintain and practice Vaishnava etiquettes. So in that way, 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan established the foundation of the Sankirtan movement. Then what happened after the disappearance of the Goswamis? Then 3 other spiritual leaders in our line carried on the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And these 3 personalities were Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Shyamananda Pandit. You should know all this because these are the Acharyas who established the foundation of propagation of Krishna consciousness. Without their contribution, we will not be here today. So we are very, very grateful to all these wonderful previous Acharyas who appeared in this world to assist Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to propagate Krishna consciousness. So Srinivas Acharya actually is a partial manifestation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narottam Das Thakur was a partial manifestation of Nityananda Prabhu, and Shyamananda Prabhu was a partial manifestation of Advaita Acharya Thakur. These are very, very special personalities. And they propagated Krishna consciousness in different parts of India, especially Bengal and surrounding areas. After their disappearance, what happened? Baladev Vidyabhushan, then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they tried their part to carry on this movement. But after that, there was a dark period in our Gauriya Parampara. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this planet. Not only disappeared, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were misrepresented, misinterpreted, and propagated in a very, very degraded manner. And 13 upasampradayas, non-bona fide line, they came into the existence, and the whole purity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings was lost. The educated class, the good class of the society, especially in Bengal, they developed very bad attitude, bad feeling about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. They used to think this is not for good people. Why? Because it was totally lost. And all of you know that India was under British rule, and spiritual teachings were distorted. Politically, socially, spiritually, India was in a very bad condition. That time, in the year 1838, if I remember correctly, in the year 1838, a great Acharya appeared in this world. And that Acharya is His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. So Bhaktivinod Thakur appeared in Nadia district, a place called Birnagar, West Bengal, India. And Bhaktivinod Thakur is not ordinary person. Actually, he is sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. He is coming from the spiritual world. There are two kinds of living entities. One is conditioned living entity. Other one is liberated living entity. Nitya Baddha and Nitya Mukta. So Bhaktivinod Thakur is not a conditioned soul like us. He is the Nitya Mukta living entity, special associate of the Lord in the spiritual world, coming down by the desire of the Lord to help assist the Lord to propagate His mission. So that is the position of Bhaktivinod Thakur. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was born in a very good aristocratic family, and he was genius and brilliant from his childhood. I was reading yesterday that Bhaktivinod Thakur at the age of 2 wrote a poem. At what age? Age of 2. Any of you have written a poem at the age of 2? And it was not an ordinary poem, it was a genius poem. And by that, Bhaktivinod Thakur indicated to the whole world that what he is going to do in the future. And at the age of 6, he learned Ramayana, Mahabharata, all this literature. So very, very special personality. So these are the symptoms of great personalities. So Bhaktivinod Thakur, when he was there on this planet, trying to re-establish the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was trying to find a copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. You know what is Chaitanya Charitamrita? Chaitanya Charitamrita is a book compiled by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And in this book, life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are recorded. This is a very, very special book for the Gauriya Vaishnava Parivrajak. Because in that book, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are wonderfully presented. But not a single copy was available during that time, while Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was there. So he was searching for a copy. Then he found a copy, one copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then he went through Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then he started writing commentary on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and started writing books. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur wrote more than 100 volumes of books in different languages. It is said that if you read Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur books, there is no need to read any other scriptures, because everything has been spoken wonderfully. The essence of Vedic knowledge has been wonderfully present by Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur in his books. He was writing in English, he was writing in Bengali. So he wrote a book. The name of the book was Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya. And he sent that book to the Western country, in Canada, Montreal. And that happened in the year 1896. And in that year, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, appeared in Calcutta, West Bengal, India. So Bengal is very, very famous. Why? Because all the great personalities, including the Supreme Personality of God in Kali Yuga, appeared in Bengal. In Satyayuga, Nrsimhadev appeared in South India. In Treta Lord Ramchandra appeared in North India. And in Dapur Yuga, Krishna appeared in North India. But in Kali Yuga, Lord appeared in East India, West Bengal, especially Nadia district. So, Srila Prabhupada also appeared in Kolkata, West Bengal, India, 1896, remarkable year. And by this, we can understand the connection. Nothing happens by chance. These acharyas are coming by the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should not think it's a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence in spiritual life. Everything happens by the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was writing books. But that time lot of oppositions, because other Upasampradayas, they have taken over the market. Right? Now Bhaktivinod Thakur came to take over the market by the pure teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lot of oppositions. So preaching Krishna consciousness is not very easy, especially in the material world, and especially in the age of Kali. People will always object if someone becomes devotee. And people will object if someone propagates Krishna consciousness. We have seen many great personalities who wanted to spread the message of the Lord. They faced opposition. Not only faced opposition, they are planned to be killed. Ramanujacharya here in South India was planned to be killed. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada was planned to be killed. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was planned to be killed. His Divine Grace Bhaktivinod Swami Srila Prabhupada was also challenged. So in that way, we can see that if you want to do good things, there will be always challenges. There will be always oppositions. There will be always obstacles, problems. But the great personalities, they don't stop. They never give up. Why? They have a mission. So mission of the Lord cannot be stopped by any energy, any power, any force of this material world. Just like the river flows to the ocean, in the same way, the mission of the Lord will definitely be established by the acharyas. They are empowered acharyas. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was not only spiritually qualified, he was also materially very qualified. He was a magistrate during British rule. British leaders, they are very happy with Bhaktivinod Thakur. He was very expert in his work. And British leaders used to have a lot of faith in Bhaktivinod Thakur. And Bhaktivinod Thakur used to give judgment in the court very quickly. Generally getting judgment is very difficult. Right? But he was not like that. He was giving judgment very quickly. Very intelligent, very intelligent. And his writings, his English was so good. Even Britishers used to appreciate his English in his writings. His life is also very exemplary. He is the Acharya, but he was a Grihastha. And Grihastha having a very big family. How many children? 10 children. How many? Can you think now? Nowadays, 1, maximum 2. If you don't have children, that's best. But Bhaktivinod Thakur had 10 children. The Grihasthas, those who are in family like that, say, we don't have time. Because you are so busy maintaining family. Bhaktivinod Thakur was having such a huge family, big family. He was working in the government, being the magistrate. But he was completely focused in his devotional service. He should know his daily schedule little bit, at least during the night time. He used to go to sleep at 7:30 in the evening. What time? 7:30 in the evening. And he used to get up at 10 o'clock. Once I was giving a lecture to the students, and when they heard that Bhaktivinod Thakur used to get up at 10 o'clock, they were so happy. So he get up at 8, he used to get up at 10. Then I told, not 10 in the morning, 10 at night. Then they become very discouraged. And they're asking, then why to sleep? So 2.5 hours. And from 10 to 4 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night till 4 o'clock in the morning, he used to write books. then he used to chant his names, used to chant the holy names, then other duties, and going to the court. In that way, he was very, very busy throughout the day and throughout the night. The symptom of a pure devotee is that he does not waste time. Srila Prabhupada used to say that a pure devotee uses each and every moment in the service of the Lord. And he used to tell his disciple, learn from me. See my life. I never wasted time. Never waste any time. So you should not waste time. Time is very, very valuable. Right? One moment cannot be bought by spending millions, billions and trillions of dollars. One moment is gone forever. That's why it said time and tide wait for none. So one of the symptoms of a pure devotee is that he is always engaged in the service of the Lord. Prabhupada says, pure devotee never sleeps. Right or wrong? By hearing that we sleep. Very discouraging for us. Because conditioned souls, they feel very happy by sleeping. Nowadays there is a problem of sleeping. People complain that they cannot sleep at night also. Right? They go to the doctors. Take medicines, even after that they cannot sleep. But we recommend them not to go to the doctors. Come to ISKCON and sit in the japa class. When you chant if you chant, definitely your sleeping problem will be settled. Right? And Bhagavatam class time, more interesting. Japa time interesting and Bhagavatam class time more interesting. Some devotee says the experience of happiness they get during sleeping at night is much more during japa time and during Bhagavatam class time. That time sleep has very, very wonderful impact. So devotees are expert in everything, in sleeping also. They can sleep by lying down at night. They can sleep by sitting down during class and japa. And some devotees are very expert. They can sleep by standing also. During Mangalati time in Siddham Mayapur, I have personally seen. They will stand in front of the Lord and sleep. Recently I got another wonderful update. One devotee came to me and told, Maharaj, I have seen a devotee walking and sleeping. I think he has attained PhD in this subject matter. So devotees know how to enjoy life also. So coming back to the point, that is the struggling devotees. But those who are pure devotees, they are very busy engaging in pure devotional service to the Lord. So Bhaktivinod Thakur, he was a grihastha, he was a government servant, magistrate. In spite of that, he was completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So absorption in Krishna consciousness does not depend on external situation. We always postpone, right? I'll be serious later on. I'll be serious tomorrow. That tomorrow will never come. Right? So when everything will be nice, that time I'll be very serious. No anxiety, nothing will be there, then I will be very much focused in my devotional practice. That's not going to happen because that is not the way this world works. Actually, if we want to be anxiety free, then we have to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Not that after we become anxiety free, we will be observing Krishna consciousness. It's a whole process, right? So we should not try to change external situations because that's not in our hands so much. We should do our part, but we have to know that external situations in our lives are not in our hands. What is in our hand? To change our internal situation. We have to change our consciousness from mundane consciousness to Krishna consciousness. When we are Krishna conscious, then we will be absorbed in Krishna wherever we are. Arjuna was absorbed in Krishna consciousness while fighting the battle of Kurukshetra. That was his level of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna used to chant the name of Krishna during sleeping also. Once one person asked Krishna, why you are so much attracted by Arjuna? He said, I'll tell you later on. So one day, Krishna took that person and went to show what's going on. So he brought him to the room where Arjuna was sleeping. So both of them entered, and that person was hearing the name of the Lord, Govinda, Keshava, Krishna. He was not able to understand where from these sounds are coming. Only Arjuna is there sleeping, nobody else. Then he realized it's coming from Arjuna only. Even during sleeping, he was chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is called purity. For us, we sleep during japa. Completely opposite, right? The pure devotee chants the holy name during sleeping, and we sleep during chanting. But hope is there. Journey has begun. At least you are chanting, no? So one day that thing will happen in our life. But we are telling why? Because we have to know the position of this kind of acharya and what is our position. So their lives are the inspiration for all of us. They have set a standard which is the motivation for the struggling sadhakas like many of us, right? So Bhaktivinod Thakur wrote many books. Not only books, he wrote a lot of wonderful songs. I think we should learn these songs. Bhaktivinod Thakur's songs are the essence of Vedic literature. If you understand the meanings of Bhaktivinod Thakur's songs, there is no need to read anything else. Everything is there. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was a genius in writing. And he was trying to spread Krishna consciousness because that is the purpose. But before that, he was thinking that I will go to Vrindavan. Who was thinking? Bhaktivinod. Because that is the tendency. Gauriya Vaishnavas, they like to go to Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu also wanted to go to Vrindavan. When he got initiation from his spiritual master in Gaya, after getting the mantra, he was mad in ecstasy and he was running towards Vrindavan. And that time he had a message from the sky, now is not the time to go to Vrindavan. It is the time for you to go to Navadvip Mayapur and start the Sankirtan movement. That is the purpose of your advent in this world. You can go to Vrindavan later on. So service is most important. It's more important than going to some holy places, going to Vrindavan. That is important. But more important than that is the service, which is a sign. Okay? So Bhaktivinod Thakur was also thinking to go to Vrindavan. Lord Shiva appeared in his dream. He said, how come you can go to Vrindavan? You should stay in Navadvip and develop Navadvip Dham. Who told? Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva is the protector of dhams. If we want to enter into dham really, then we have to get the blessings of Lord Shiva. So Bhaktivinod Thakur not only got the blessings, he got the instruction directly from Lord Shiva to focus on its service. Because that is the purpose of Bhaktivinod Thakur's advent. To rediscover Navadvip Dham. Because that time, after Mahaprabhu's disappearance, Navadvip Dham also was under the water of the Ganges. It also disappeared. So that's why Bhaktivinod Thakur is known as seventh Goswami. 6 Goswamis, they developed Vrindavan. Because unless we have a holy place, unless we have books, unless we have temples, and unless we have devotee communities, we cannot spread Krishna consciousness. These are the fundamental aspects. What we need to spread the message of the Lord all over. So, since Goswamis did that in Vrindavan, now time has come to establish the same thing in Navadvip. Because Navadvip is the headquarter of the Sankirtan movement. Because Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtan movement from Mayapur. And Srila Prabhupada also established the headquarters, world headquarters of International Society for Krishna Consciousness at Sridham, Mayapur. Right? So when Prabhupada built a small cottage in Mayapur, how many of you visited Mayapur? Very good. You have seen that Bhajan Kutir of Srila Prabhupada? That was the first building of ISKCON in Mayapur. Okay, Prabhupada used to stay there. And that time Prabhupada declared Mayapur as the world headquarters of ISKCON. That time ISKCON had wonderful centers in prominent cities all over the world. Devotees were sought. In a remote village of Bengal, in a paddy field, world headquarters. Very strange from a material point of view. But Prabhupada knew why Mayapur should be the world headquarters, because that is the capital, Sankirtan capital of the world. Because Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtan movement where? In Navadvip, in Mayapur. Where Mahaprabhu appeared? Navadvip. The appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appearance of the Sankirtan movement, all took place in Navadvip, Mayapur. That's why Srila Prabhupada established the world headquarters of his ISKCON society at Sridham, Mayapur. But that process began by Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. So Bhaktivinod Thakur, one day he was in the Navadvip town, other side of the Ganges, and from a building he saw light on the other side. And that was an indication that that is the place of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Because the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also lost, and people used to say that his birthplace in some other location. So Bhaktivinod Thakur started searching, not only spiritually, but also government records. He collected all the government records he got, and confirmed this is the place. Because he came to see that place and he saw only tulsi, lot of tulsi trees. And he understood this is the place of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. But he confirmed through government records, documents, legal documents. Then he wanted to get it confirmed by a saintly person also. So he approached Jagannath Das Babaji. He was very old, very, very old. He was not able to see, he was not able to walk. So he was carried by his disciple on a basket, in a basket. He was carried. And when he was brought at this place, he jumped out of the basket and started dancing in ecstasy. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana. Then he confirmed this is the place of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So in that way, Lord Chaitanya's birthplace was rediscovered by Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. This is one of the great contributions of Bhaktivinod Thakur. Then he wanted to build a temple at the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. And he collected donations from different people and he established that temple also. But along with that, he wanted to develop Navadvip Dham. Navadvip means a place of 9 islands where Mahaprabhu primarily performed his pastime before he took sannyas. Very, very important place. But it was in a very bad shape, underdeveloped. So Bhaktivinod Thakur started developing Navadvip Dham. And he also said that Navadvip Dham should be developed and we should do Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. And he predicted by performing Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, the whole world will be liberated. That was the prediction, that was the vision of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. We can see now thousands and thousands, millions of people are coming and doing Navadvip Mandal Parikrama and getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this is the contribution of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Then he wanted to preach Krishna consciousness and he started Namhatta preaching. Namhatta. Have you heard the name Namhatta? Nam means holy name, Hatt means marketplace. Namhatta means marketplace of the holy name. This is a way of preaching where devotees used to gather, people used to gather and chant the holy name and hear discourses from Gita, Bhagavad, and Bhaktivinod Thakur started that preaching. From where? In Godrumdi. One of the 9 islands of Navadvip is Godrumdi. Have you heard the name Godrumdi? Godrumdi is the headquarters of Bhaktivinod Thakur's preaching. And that is the place Nityananda Prabhu also started Namhatta preaching. So it's coming in Parampara. Nityananda Prabhu is the original personality who started this Sankirtan movement under the guidance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Bhaktivinod Thakur started Namhatta preaching and it was spreading like anything. And that Namhatta preaching changed whole Bengal, Orissa and other parts. So propagation of Krishna consciousness is very, very important. Our parampara is Goshthanandi parampara. Have you heard the term Goshthanandi? No. One is Bhajananandi and other one is Goshthanandi. Vaishnavas are of 2 types, Bhajananandi Vaishnava and Goshthanandi Vaishnava. Bhajananandi Vaishnavas, they are absorbed in bhajan and for their own spiritual upliftment. But Goshthanandi Vaishnavas, they are absorbed in bhajan, but at the same time they also propagate Krishna consciousness so that others also can get the opportunity to do bhajan. So our parampara is Goshthanandi parampara. They do bhajan and along with bhajan they also propagate Krishna consciousness. So unless you propagate Krishna consciousness, we cannot be identified as Gauriya Vaishnava. Gauriya Vaishnavas, they propagate Krishna consciousness. Because Mahaprabhu told, Prithivite ache jato nagaradi gram, sarvatra prachar hoibe mor nam. Prachar means propagation of Krishna consciousness. Right? So Bhaktivinod Thakur also established this preaching, because after Mahaprabhu's departure and after the departure of all the genius previous acharyas, the preaching was stopped. Completely stopped. So Bhaktivinod Thakur revived that preaching wonderfully. And he was praying to the Lord, how can I preach alone? I need help. That was the mood of Mahaprabhu also. Mahaprabhu was preaching Krishna consciousness. He prayed to the Lord that he is the Lord himself. But he was thinking that he needs help. By propagation of Krishna consciousness alone is not possible to distribute Krishna consciousness to all the people of the world. We need more people. So Bhaktivinod Thakur also was thinking in that way, that alone how much I can preach. So he prayed to Lord Jagannath at Jagannath Puri, please send one person to me who will assist me to propagate Krishna consciousness. So Jagannath heard the prayer of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, and another great personality appeared in this world. His name was or is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. But his name was during that time of childhood, his name was Bimala Prasad. Why Bimala Prasad? Why not Jagannath Prasad? Because Jagannath Prasad is first offered to Bimala Devi. Bimala Devi is a form of Parvati. So Bimala Devi is the first recipient of the Prasad of Jagannath. And it becomes Mahaprasad. Because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada appeared by the mercy of Lord Jagannath. That's why his name was Bimala Prasad. He was the Prasad of Lord Jagannath through the medium of Bimala Devi. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was the right-hand man, the main assistant, the secretary of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was fighting against Upasampradayas, but his son was much more powerful in fighting. He was the Singha Guru, the Lion Guru. Bhaktivinod Thakur was little soft, but our Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. That's why he appeared. So once what happened? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada took some mangoes. That was the mango season. Okay. And he took the mangoes. But that was not offered to the Lord. Bhaktivinod Thakur became very upset. He said, how come you take mangoes without offering to the Lord? Lesson to be learned, you should not take anything without offering to the Lord. But we are very expert. Taking things without offering to the Lord. But what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur did, on that day he took a vow, throughout my life, I will not take mango. Ripened mango. He should take mango chutney, but ripened mango, he never took. If any disciple used to offer mango to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, used to say, I cannot take mango, I am an offender. That was the level of Krishna consciousness. So you have to understand their level of Krishna consciousness and our level of Krishna consciousness. Right? So Bhaktivinod Thakur entrusted the responsibility of the propagation of Krishna consciousness to his son, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he was also doing bhajan in Jagannath Puri, in Bhakti Puri. Okay, no problem. And he said that I am doing bhajan here, and by my bhajan, preaching will happen all over the world. That is the power of purity. Who can preach? Who is pure? We think by giving nice lecture, by giving nice presentation, we can preach Krishna consciousness. That is not the way. We can have a good presentation, we can give nice lecture, but that's not going to change the world. How world will be changed? First, we should be changed. Purity is the force, Upadishta. So purity is the force. That's why we have to do bhajan, means we have to do practice. Achar. Those who can do achar, they can do prachar. Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada used to say, first is vichar, second is achar, third is prachar. What is vichar? Vichar means knowing the conclusion of Shastra. You have to read Shastra. You have to read Bhagavad Gita. You have to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you should know the conclusion of Shastra. It's called vichar. After knowing what to do, I know so much. I know all the verses of Bhagavad Gita. What is the use of that knowing? Who doesn't know cigarette smoking is injurious to health? Everybody knows. And it became legally compulsory to declare tobacco is the cause of cancer, right? And if you go in the airport, in airports, there is a smoking zone. And in the smoking zone, it is written, tobacco is the cause of cancer, cigarette is injurious to your health, cigarette smoking is injurious to your health, and the whole room is filled up. This is called power of addiction. Knowledge doesn't work. So therefore, we have to know, that's good, but knowing is not enough. We have to practice that knowledge, apply that knowledge in our life. So tobacco is the cause of cancer. What is the application? Then we should not. The same way, when we learn something from the scriptures, we should apply in our lives. Just like after reading Bhagavad Gita, you know Krishna is God and we are not God, right? You believe that? You are God? You are not God. Who is God? Krishna is God. Who are you? Servant of God. You know then what to do next. I know Krishna is God. I also know I am servant of God. That's it. Then what to do? Then we have to serve the Lord. That is called application of that knowledge. Chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the Yuga Dharma. I know all the references of Shastra. Right? Then what is to do? Chant. If you know chanting is the Yuga Dharma, then what is the first step? Chant. If you don't chant and tell others to chant, it's going to work. You can tell, okay, chanting is Yuga Dharma, you should chant properly, okay? Don't follow me. I don't chant, but you should chant. It's very, very good. It's going to work. This is called Achar. Vichar, then Achar. Then we can do. So Bhaktivinod Thakur is the example of Vichar and Achar and also is a perfect example. He studied scrutinizingly. Then he practiced also vigorously. Then he preached practice. That is the life of Srila Bhaktivinod. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur ki jai. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur Abhirbhav Titi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Gaur Premanande. If you want to ask 1, 2 questions, if you have any, then we can address those questions.